न अंतःप्रज्ञम न बहिष्प्रज्ञम न उभयतः प्रज्ञम न प्रज्ञानघनम न प्रज्ञम न अप्रज्ञम. Up to this we have finished, and we are seeing this adrishtam. Ataeva adrishtam. What is the meaning of adrishtam or vyavaharyam that we are seeing now? To what Bhagavan Shankaracharya is telling in the Bhashya. Ataeva adrishtam. Why ataeva adrishtam? In the previously, it was told that it is not the it is not the what is this prajna, it is not the Vishwa, it is not the
Tejas.
It is not the Vishwa, it is not the Tejas, it is not the prajna. Since it is not the Vishwa, not Tejas, not the prajna, so automatically it will not be available in the waking state, dream state, and deep sleep state. Because the Vishwa, Tejas, and Prajna, they are available in the waking state. Waking state, who is the Vishwa? Who is the experiencer in the waking state? Now, what state we are in now? Now we are in the waking state. So when I tell I am hearing the sound, I am seeing all of you through the eyes, I am hearing all the sound through the ear. Who is experiencing the color and form, and who is experiencing the sound, or who is knowing the sound? It is the Vishwa. So when I tell I am eating, it is the Vishwa. I am experiencing happy joy, it is Vishwa in the waking state. Whenever awake, at that time, the waker is the experiencer, or the waker is the Vishwa. And same in the dream state is the Tejas, and it in the deep sleep state is the Prajna. And previously we saw that it is na anta pragyam, na pragyam, na ubhayata pragyam, those things are told. So that means this Turiya is not the Vishwa, Tejas, and Prajna. When it is not the Vishwa, it is not the Tejas, it is not the Prajna, it may be the different states therein. Vishwa is available in the waking state. Tejas is available in the dream state. Prajna is available in the deep sleep state. Now, if the Turiya is not Vishwa, Tejas, and Prajna, they may be the waking state, dream state, and deep sleep state. This Turiya may be the waking state, deep state, and deep sleep state. No, it is telling no. It is not the waker, dreamer, and deep sleeper. Also, it is not the waking state, dream state, and deep sleep state. In the BMI chat, it is not the PFT, nor the OET. OET are the field of experience. Here, what are the three fields of experience? Waking state, dream state, and deep sleep state. Okay. So, this Turiya is not the experiencer or the field of experience. Okay. Then, if it is not, that means when it is told it is not the waking state, it is not the dream state, it is not deep sleep state, that means it is not the objects of waking state, dream state, and deep sleep state. It is not the waker, dreamer, and deep sleeper. It is not the waking state, dream state, and deep sleep state. And it is not the objects of waking state, dream state, and deep sleep state. What is the objects of waking state? That are sthula. They are sthula objects. What is the objects of the dream state? Pravivikta, subtle objects. And in the objects of the deep sleep is Ananda. Okay? Not the Ananda, not in the sense of bliss, but is the absence of differences. Okay.
So, Swamiji, won't that be Shunya? In the deep sleep, won't that be Shunya? Because we don't know what it is.
If it
we
is
can't
Shunya,
describe it, right?
Yeah, if it is not Shunya, of course, that thing is coming later, little later, but previously we have discussed. If it is Shunya, then let us take the example of rope and snake. I am not able to see the rope, Because of the darkness, I'm not able to see the rope. But something got entangled on my leg. Then I thought that is a snake. So now when we'll bring a torchlight and we'll find flashlight and I'll shout that, oh, snake has bitten me, snake has bitten me. So everybody will bring the sticks and they will bring also the flashlight and they will search everywhere. Now there is no snake. There is no snake. Then can we tell that there is nothing there? Shiv Kumar ji.
No, you cannot say that.
It was there.
Rope is there.
Originally, it was there. I falsely projected it as a snake. After the light, my ignorance went away and I recognized that
No,
to be a
don't use those words. And tell him, now the snake is not there. Can I tell that, no, there is nothing? Can I tell that?
No, you cannot.
No, we cannot. There is still a rope.
There is still a rope, exactly. So it is not Sunya.
The substratum still persists.
Yes, substratum is still there. So we cannot tell Sunya. Something is there.
No, but how do we call that as a Ananda?
Ananda, see, always will experience Ananda if there are absence of duality. In the scripture, where there is no division, that is Ananda. Ananda means there is in which there is no division,
Okay.
which is infinite.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
In the deep sleep state, somehow it is happening on its own. That division is not there. But
No
it is not
division.
consciously, we have not arrived at that. It's just happening every day.
Okay. Understood.
Okay.
That's very clear.
Which,
Yep.
which is happening on its own, it will not really benefit. Suppose food is served to us and we eat the food every day. Then we'll do no, I have no problem at all because food is there and I eat, my stomach gets satisfied. No, there is a problem because it is by chance it is I'm getting. But if she has gone to India, then I will know how much problem is there. Actually, there is no food at all. Because I'm getting, that is not a full proof that I'll be getting all the time. If I know the cooking, if somebody is gone to India, no problem. So the absence of a thing doesn't prove that there is nothing there. Only that thing is absent, but something else is there. Okay. So since this Turiya is not the waker, dreamer, and deep sleeper, it is not the waking state, dream state, and deep sleep state in which these three function, or it is not the waking state objects, which is a sthula, which is gross in nature, or the dream state objects, which are pravivikta, subtle in nature, or the ananda, in which there is absence of duality. Seemingly absence of duality. That's why it is adrishtam, because this is not object, so nobody can see it. Nobody can see it means nobody can hear it, nobody can taste it, nobody can smell it, nobody can touch it. Atayava adrishtam. That means it cannot be perceived through the senses. It's not an object, so it cannot be perceived. Yasmat adrishtam, tasmat avyavaharyam. Since it is adrishtam, since it cannot be perceived, it cannot be vyavahari. It cannot be transacted. It is not available for transaction. Nobody can transact. You know, I'm going, where are you going? I want to see the Turiya. One cannot transact like that. Oh, today I talk to Turiya. Like how to, oh, Swamiji, when I sit in the puja room, I talk to God directly. Like how to tell, Atma, that is good, but here the Atma is not something one can talk to or one can talk of. Here it is told of Vyavaharyam. One cannot transact. One cannot do any kind of dealing with that Atma because it is not an object for transaction. It is because it is not sthula, it is not pravivikta, it is not ananda. That's why one cannot transact. When you are telling transaction, always transactions happen by the organs of knowledge, like eyes, ear, nose, tongue, skin. These are called the sense organs or organs of knowledge. So one cannot, when it comes to Atma, these sense organs are like are nothing. They are of no use at all. For that reason, in the seat of meditation, when we are meditating on God, not on thoughts, people tell that when we are sitting on meditation, my mind goes here and there. Then let it go. We are not concerned with the mind because meditation is not done on the mind. Meditation is done on the Atma. So let it go wherever it goes. We are not concerned with that. Okay. Since we don't understand, we always think that doing something in the mental level is called meditation. No. No. Doing something about which is beyond the mind. And what we'll do there when something is beyond mind, that part nobody can teach to anyone. Up to mind one can teach. But if something is beyond that, then one has to do. That's why no guru can do anything, no book can do anything. It is one has to, if one has taken care how to understand things which are in the purview of the mind, if that happens, then the rest of the thing which is beyond mind becomes natural. But we have problem in the which is in the level of the mind, which is in the level of the senses. Like what we see, we have problem. What we hear, we have problem. What we taste, we have problem. If we see something, we get so much attached. So much attached. Recently, you must have heard that murder case in India. It is so many murders are, but this is really has taken the nation. It has created so much of agony in the entire country that one boy, whatever Shraddha, whatever some name, that name is Shraddha.
Yes, Shraddha.
And she fell in love with a boy. Then they were spending time together. They are not married. But then this boy came to, from Mumbai, he came to New Delhi. Then so Shraddha also came there too. They were staying together. Then she proposed that we should marry. Then something happened. I don't want to tell the entire thing. Then he has killed her. And he has cut her into 35 parts, 35 pieces. Then he put all the pieces in different bags. He has spent a lot of money. Then he purchased a new refrigerator. And then he has frozen that, they kept all the parts in the refrigerator. Then every day he will go to the forest and one part he will throw somewhere. Another part he will throw somewhere else so that nobody can get anything. Because at the end, then he will have a relationship with other girls and the other girls will be there. But there is a lady murdered already, but they don't know. Okay. See how our sense organs are, it can work to such an extent, one can do anything. But in the meditation, we turn off all the senses. So the sound cannot create any problem. So we go to a solitary place. We cannot close the ear unless we put some plug. We go to a solitary place where there is no sound. Or if there is any sound, it is not disturbing at all, like the bird chirping or the flow of the water. They will not disturb us. Rather, they are soothing. So we go there. Then we don't put any chewing gum or no food. So mouth is closed. And we don't talk to anybody because there is nobody there. Then we don't hold anything. We keep the fingers crossed. And then the legs, we keep the legs folded. We don't touch anything. So that means all the senses are brought to a non-functional condition. They are not functioning. That doesn't mean that they have lost their capability to function. Only we are not using them at that time at all. If we are not using, then automatically the body becomes quiet because the body functions through these things. So when it told avyavaharyam, that means it cannot be transacted through the sense organs. That means the turiya is beyond the organs of knowledge, beyond the sense organs, by telling avyavaharyam. Okay? This much you remember that it cannot be it is not an object for transaction, that means it is not the object of the senses. Sense organs cannot do anything, cannot transact with it. Then next one is adrishtam or vyavaharyam. Then it is called agrahyam. Agrahyam. Then what does it mean by agrahyam? Avyavaharyam we saw. That means it is beyond the sense organ. But agrahyam, Bhagavan Shankaracharya is telling, agrahyam means karmendriyahi. That means not only it is beyond the organs of knowledge, organs of perception or sense organs, it is beyond the karmendriyas too. To the hand we cannot hold it. To the leg we cannot kick it. And to the mouth, to the organ of speech, the mouth, to the mouth we cannot talk regarding it. So, and it is, then it has nothing to do with organ of excretion and organ of procreation. It has nothing to do with that. That's why agrahyam means karmendri. It cannot be held by the hand. It cannot be touched by the leg. It is agrahyam. By telling agrahyam, it is beyond the organs of action. By telling avyavaharyam, it is beyond the organs of knowledge. Then alakshanam. Alakshanam, here Bhagavan Shankaracharya is giving different meanings. Alakshanam means alingam. Iti etat ananumeyam ityartha. Lakshana means qualities. Lakshana is the qualities. And alakshanam, the meaning is alingam. Alingam means it cannot be indicated. Because if something has got qualities, then only we can indicate. Otherwise, we cannot indicate. For example, we want to see the moon. And the moon, which is very thin, the crescent moon, on the 14th day, that is very thin. But how it will indicate that? It is from the little light will be there. From that, will tell that, this is the moon. The moon can be indicated by very thin layer of light. One can indicate. If that light is not there, some qualities are not there, one cannot indicate anything. So it is, alakshana means it has no quality. The Surya has no quality. That's why it cannot be indicated. It is, lingam is the indicator. Alingam means it cannot be indicated through an indicator, through a pointer. It cannot be pointed out through a pointer. What does it mean? Alakshana means alingam. Alingam means ananumeyam. Ananumeyam means it cannot be, it cannot be inferred. And 2 class before, inferring means it is anumana. The Sanskrit meaning is anumana. What does it mean? Suppose something we are not able to see directly. Then can we know the existence of that thing? Yes. How? By doing anumana. Anumana means inference. And the best example for inference means parvate vanhi. Parvate vanhi. In the mountain, there is, from a long distance, we saw some smoke. But I want to, in the forest, I'm very hungry. I want to cook something. I saw some roots and all that, but I want to cook it. Then I am looking for where fire will come in the forest. There's no fire. But suddenly I noticed at a long distance there's some smoke. Then from that I can infer there must be fire, because I have never seen smoke and fire. I have never seen smoke without fire. Wherever there is smoke, there is fire is there. So that will, now I am not able to see the fire. I am seeing the smoke, but I will infer that there must be fire. This is called inference. Inference is that method of knowledge is applied when I am able to see the effect, but not able to see the cause. To know the cause from its effect is called inference. So that is, but the Atma, nobody can, Turiya, nobody can do inference. Nobody can infer. But we always tell that we can infer from the Srishti. Srishti is the Anubhava Dwara, isn't it? The Srishti is the Anubhava Dwara for whom? Prakashji? Srishti is the Anubhava Dwara for whom? I hope you remember that person, Anandji. The Srishti is the Anubhava Dwara for
For the
for whom?
Bahish Prajna?
From Srishti, if we try to hold on to Srishti, where it will take us?
Prakriti Swamiji.
Huh?
Prakriti. Maya.
Srishti, Prakriti is the same. It will take us to
Brahman.
Srashta. It will
Turiya.
take us to Srashta.
Turiya.
If we are holding on to Srishti, if we are analyzing the Srishti, then it will take us, that analysis, that method of inquiry will take us to Srashta.
Srashta.
That means Srashta can be, or Ishvara. The Ishvara can be inferred from the Srishti, from the creation. One can infer the presence of the creator from the creation. If there is a creation, surely there is a creator. We can infer that. Now you are telling no, Turiya nobody can infer. That means Turiya is not the ultimate truth. Turiya is the creator. That we can infer. From the creation, we can infer the creator, but that creator is me. That we cannot infer. Like from the child, one can infer that yes, he must have a mom and dad. That one can infer, because we have never seen a child without mom and dad. So we have to infer, and that is quite real. Yes, if child is there must be mom and dad. But that mom and dad, they are one and they are me. That way one cannot. That nobody can infer. In case of God, he is the father, he is the mother, and he is me. That kind of inference, the Anumana Pramana, the Anumana is not a Pramana to establish the existence of Turiya. That's why it is Ananumaya. Ananumaya. Ataiva Achintyam. Now it is now inference is done by what? By the intellect. That means it is not the object of intellect. What about mind? Ataiva Achintyam. It cannot be thought of by the mind, because mind, in order to think of, it can only think of objects. Objects means gross objects, subtle objects. Mind can think of that. And all the whatever you think of, for that we need senses. If the senses are not there, mind will not be fed, because mind is fed through senses. If all the senses are closed, then mind cannot think of that. So mind becomes relatively quiet. But it is told again, it is Anunamayam. One cannot infer. That means there is no way mind is getting any data. All the sources of data are completely closed for the mind. Okay, when it comes to Turiya. That's why, since this is beyond the sense organs, it is beyond the organs of action, it is beyond the intellect. So mind cannot think of it. Achintyam. So Turiya cannot be an object of mind too. Achintyam. Ataeva avyapadisyam sabdaihi. Ataeva avyapadisyam. It cannot be, vyapadisya means it cannot be described. It cannot be described by what? Sabdaihi. Because it has no sabda pravriti nimitta. Sabda pravriti nimitta means Sabda is a nimitta. Is a nimitta means it is a cause to describe which has got characteristics. Like when I tell this is a flower, that means some characteristics already it is decided. These characteristics, if it is there, then it is a flower. If these characteristics are there, it is a fruit. Like cat and tiger. Cat has some characteristics, tiger has some characteristics, but the characteristics are almost similar. That's why the tiger is also a cat family. Lion is also a cat family. Because of the same characteristics. Yes, Shivakumarji.
So, Swamiji, we need our mind and intellect to recognize that there is something beyond. Right?
No. Mind and intellect are required to know which is in the purview of the senses. It may be subtle or gross. But if something is beyond the mind and intellect are of no use.
But
that's why
only with the help of mind and intellect, we are creating an awareness to us that there is something beyond, right?
But that doesn't mean anything.
Hmm.
That doesn't mean anything. It is when we are telling that there is something beyond the mind, only we are going up to the mind level. But what is beyond the mind, intellect cannot know it. The mind cannot know it. Yes, what you are telling, we can infer something is there, that's all. But what is that? Mind and intellect, they are not the tools to know that.
Okay.
Hmm?
And can we use the word experience? That is what is beyond mind and intellect when you,
Okay.
when somebody,
Yeah,
it
that
can be
will
called
tell,
experience.
we cannot tell it the experience, but we can tell that that is the, because of that, all the experiences can happen at the mind and intellect level. But that is cannot be an experience. But because of that, experiences take place at the sense organ level, at the intellectual level, at the mind level. It is just like the batteries in the flashlight. Okay, in the flashlight, when we are we make it on, when the switch is made on, then whatever is in front of the flashlight can be seen.
Yeah.
And those objects may be 20 feet away, 30 feet away, 50 feet away. We can see everything, but we cannot see the batteries which are immediately, which are just beyond the light, that flashlight bulb. How much you may try to see what is beyond this electric, the flashlight bulb, we cannot see at all. How much you may try. Suppose I'll tell no, I'll open the that cover, then I'll see the battery is there, because there's no light. No.
Okay.
So now we are all talking. I'm talking to you, you are talking to me. I'm seeing you, you are seeing me. I'm indicating something to you, you are indicating something to me. Those things are, one can see. But because of which you are able to hear, but because of which I'm able to talk, that you cannot indicate, or I can indicate, but I will not know what is that. But
Okay.
one thing I can tell, yes, there is something. But what is that? I don't know. That requires
Can
meditation.
be described. Okay, understood. Thanks.
Atayeva abhyapadesyam. That means it cannot be described. The sabda is not a sabda is not a nimitta. Sabda is not a means to describe the turiya. That's why it is abhyapadesyam. It cannot be described. Sabda can be used to describe that which has got characteristics, physical and chemical properties. One can use the words. But if it doesn't have any qualities, then sabda is not the nimitta to describe. So it is abhyapadesyam. then one may tell that there is no way to realize that one. There is no way to realize, because it is adristam, it is abhyavaharyam, it is agrahyam, it is alakshanam. That means it is ananumayam, it is achintyam, it is abhyavadesyam. And then what is there? That means we cannot experience it. There is no need of reading this scripture. That's all. We studied so much. At the end, when it comes to really, I want to experience it, it cannot be experienced. And then the whole effort is like null and void. It is of no use at all. We spend so much of time, and it is we could have earned some money or some by that time.
Swamiji, but
Hmm.
first word of this one, etat aksharam eva. Om iti aksharam. Om is still indicated by what? Aksharam, right?
Yeah. Indicated,
that-
indicated, but it cannot be experienced.
Okay.
Indicated is different thing. One can tell that, okay, this is the moon, but I am not able to see where the moon is. It is so thin, I am not able to see. Okay. Then it told, can I experience it? Can I recognize it? If at all, how can I recognize it? Then next person starts. Next person is Ekatma Pratyaya Saram. And what does it mean? Jagradi, Bhagavan Shankaracharya is writing the commentary. Jagradadi sthanesu kaha ayam atma iti abhyabhichari. Yah pratyayah tena anusaraniyam. Ekatma pratyasara means, pratyaya means, actually pratyaya means thoughts. Eka atma pratyaya means
One
the
thought.
thought regarding one atma. That is the literal meaning. Ekatma pratyaya. Saram has different meanings. He has given two meanings here. In the first one, saram means anusaranyam. From anusara is there. From the anusara, from the anusara, anu, remove the anu. Anu means always after. Like anugamana. Anugamana means following somebody is called anugamana. The anu word is always used in sense of after. If we are following somebody, then we tell anugamana or anusarana. These are the anu. Anu word, anu means after. Means behind. Ekatma pratyaya saram. So let me little describe, because this has got a different way of understanding. That when one is doing the sadhana, at the end we read the meditation verses, Brahma Tattvamasi Bhavaya Atmani, isn't it? In every Jati Niti Kula Gotra Duragam Nama Rupa Guna Dosa Varjitam Desa Kala Visayati Vartiyada Brahma Tattvamasi Bhavaya Atmani. That means think. Bhavaya. Bhava means think all the time, in each and every way. Bhavaya, like how we are thinking that I'm a human being, that it is a thought. In the same way, instead of thinking that I am the body, now think that I am the Atma. I am the Brahman, Brahma Tattvamasi, and which is told in the Tattvamasi Mahavakya, I am that Brahman. In this way, Bhavaya Nityam, think in each and every way at all the time. Nityam is all the time. When we are cooking, Brahman. When we are playing, Brahman. How that, of course, that understanding one should have, otherwise one cannot think. Otherwise one will tell them, no, I am the father, I am the mother, I am the brother, I am sister. One will get involved in that one. But now thinking is, I am the, when we are watching TV. Who is watching? The perceiver is watching. But because of whom he is able to watch? Because of this Atma, and I am that Atma. Even though we are watching TV, this is called Nityam. Bhavaya Nityam. All the time we are thinking that way. When we are eating, then Bhagavan has told in chapter 15, Aham Vaishvanara Hutta. I am present in everybody as the Vaishvanara, and because of that Vaishvanara, that eating is possible. Not I am eating. In this manner, when one is doing, then one will be established in the Brahman. That is the idea. Meditation verses are to get established in Brahman, not to know Brahman, but to be established in Brahman. Because already we are Brahman, that we come to know by reading the scripture, but we are not able to abide in that understanding. We are not to abide. For that, meditation is needed. Meditation will not create a Brahman, it will not create a Brahman out of us. It will help us to be established in that understanding that I am Brahman, not the body. So when one is doing the sadhana, aham brahmasmi, aham brahmasmi, aham brahmasmi, when one is reflecting on that, the teacher will tell tattvamasi, tattvamasi. When we are doing the vichar of tatpada and tvam-pada, then we'll come to understand that really I am brahmasmi. Then one has to abide in that understanding all the time. Then one becomes Brahman. So aham brahmasmi is a thought, and that thought is called a brahmakara vritti. That is called a brahmakara vritti. And like some other day I have told that when we are thinking regarding Lord or doing the japa of Lord's name, what it does, it neutralizes all other worldly thoughts. And at the end, what will happen to this thought? That Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, that will also disappear. This is the benefit of having a spiritual thought. Spiritual thoughts, they dissolve all the worldly thoughts, and at the end, it gets also dissolved. And the best example is the Kataka Renuvat. In the Atmavad we have read, when there is water is dirty, we take those pollens. It is called Kataka Renu. Renu is pollen, and it's like the pollen. We will put on the water. Then what it does, it coagulates all the dust particle or dirt particle, whatever is there in the water. It will bring all the particles together. Then what will happen? It will settle down. Then we can decant from the top. But if that floats, the Kataka, if it floats, then we cannot get clean water. Like medicine. When you are taking medicine, medicine removes the unnecessary things in the body. It removes. But itself, if it stays, it will create disease. That's why it has to go away in the urine or in the when we are going to toilet, that medicine has to go out from the system. If it stays, then that's why always side reactions are there. Same thing, if the worldly thoughts are gone, but this thought is always there, Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Sri Ram, no, that will also go away on its own. We don't have to do anything. To remove Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram thought, what we have to do? We don't have to do nothing. It will go on its own. But if I think that, okay, I'll marry, this is only one thought, I'll marry, then that thought will take where it will land us. It will go in 100 directions. Now I'll get married. What will be the size of the boy? What is the color of the boy? What is the income of the boy? What is the size of the girl? What is the color of the girl? And who parents? What studied? 100 things. Then after some days, marriage will happen. Where the mandap will be? What kind of mandap? Who is the flower girl? And who is the priest? See how many I just thought that I should marry. Then now my headache is there. And when money will come, I'm not earning that much. Then parents are telling, I have given you education. It is you find money and you get married, whether you are doing in the 5-star hotel or 10-star hotel. That is your responsibility. Now it is my headache now. Okay, I got the married and Pava Kubu. Then I go to Cancun. Everything is nice. Then a child has to come. Then somehow the child came. Then we have to buy that jhula, and then which car and how will bring all the things. Then the room has to be made, and where the house will be, then we'll go and search like Sugriva, everywhere that house thing. Then after searching, then we'll enter and the child will come, new something, they will come or something, it will be there. Then the child is not sleeping, he is not eating, he is not growing at all. How many one thought now it is making me to think in million ways. I can't, and it will be so much, how much that mind can take? Do you think that I can sit quietly for a single second? No. Then I'll do, okay, the children have their children and they will know, they will mom, they see that mom is sitting free. They will say, Mom, please come, they will little bribe. You are so nice and you have taken good care of us. You can also give the same values to our children. And then mom also get inspired. So, oh, acha, these people are, nobody is praising us, so I can go. Then when we sit, they certainly, they try, somebody is there permanently and no problem. We don't have to pay or anything. Let us go for sightseeing. They will go to movie, they will go to Mexico, 100 things, and the mom is taking care. See where I was and then where I landed. Now I am to again do the same thing what I was doing 20, 30 years before. I am to do the same thing, change the diaper, mono, same thing I have to do. Sing the lullabies, again start, and it doesn't come to an end. And it will come to an end only when I am put in the casket to some extent it is gone. Again it will start from next line because I have ended there. See one thought where it is leading us. I hope you are getting the message. It is worldly thoughts, they go on multiplying. We cannot reduce. You cannot tell that, okay, after this, then I will be so quiet. No. But when we are taking Lord's name will remove all worldly thoughts. What I will do, profit, loss, sukha, dukha, all the thoughts are gone. Now, from election thing, and you came out, and then now the Democratic Party has done well. They were thinking that it will completely wiped out and everything. Now, majority in the Senate at least. And then suddenly today news came, now the House is in their hand, the Republicans' hand. That means they can do different laws and everything and how to capture this Biden thing. Okay. Then that is okay. Then suddenly Trump has announced that he is now going to contest. You know, we can't sleep. We can sleep for 1 minute of joy, then 59 minutes of worries. Swami Shivanji will always write. What is that? That is song of what do you call it? Don't see movies at all. Govinda, it's song of Govinda, he will tell. Don't talk ill of others, Govinda. Don't get angry on others, Govinda. Don't read newspapers, Govinda. If one wants to read newspaper, forget scripture. Forget. It will drag us. What is the news today? When you get up, first I will read what is the today's news. We think that and the night it must have changed something. And these news writers, they will write the same thing, but they will change some other. Same thing will be written in a different way. That's all. And then we read, okay, newspaper. And after some time, we get word, we throw that newspaper. Then I want a new newspaper. What is news today? Okay, good. In this manner, that's why you will instruct if we are going in the spiritual path, don't read newspapers at all. Because it destabilizes the mind. It makes very disturbed. And over which you have no control, what can you do? I can give only my vote. I cannot count on others' vote whom they are giving. I may tell that, oh, this time I am going to defeat, I am going to get 80%. You are just telling like that. But then why will, if you know that you are getting 80%, why will election be done? It cannot be. So, Ekatma Pratyaya Sara means this Aham Brahmakara Vritti, if one follows that Aham Brahmakara Vritti, where from this Brahmakara Vritti is coming, then it will take us to Brahman. That's why one has to follow that Brahmakara Vritti. Actually, all the thoughts are coming from Brahman only. In the BMI chart, from Om only all the thoughts are coming. So if we take any thought, don't tell that this is anger thought, this is greed thought, this is passion thought. Don't try to brand them in that way. But each thought is a rope from the God. God is throwing us a rope so that we will catch this side, and what God will do? God will pull us. So hold a thought and try to find its source, where from it is coming. Okay. So here Sara means Anusaraniyam, following. And what will follow? It is the Aham Brahmasmi, that is the Brahmakara Vritti one has to follow. Ekatma. Ekatma means Atma is Eka. Atma is alone. Atma is only one. Atma is one. Pratyaya Saram. This thought, Atma is one. That thought, that Aham Brahmasmi thought or Brahmakara Vritti, Saram means Anusaraniyam. Why it is Anusaraniyam? It is written here. Jagradadi sthanesu ka aham atma abhyavichari. That means in the waking state, dream state, and deep sleep state, we do not know what Atma is. But our experience is, all of us, we experience the same thing, that the entity who was experiencing the waking state objects or having the waking state experiences, the same entity is having the dream state experiences. And same entity is having the deep sleep state experiences. So the experiencer in all the three states is one and the same. That's why there is remembrance of the recollection of the experiences. When the waking state, suppose we ate a laddu, then we went to dream. In the dream, we ate a banana. Then the deep sleep state, we didn't remember anything. We didn't find anything. Then I can tell, in the waking state, I did this. In the dream state, I did this. In the deep sleep state, I was not experiencing anything. I can recollect. That means the same entity who was in the Jagratavastha, same entity is in the Swapnavastha, same entity is in the Susupti Avastha. That is the Atma of the Avichari. Avichari means it is not changing. It is changeless. There is one changeless principle in all these states, and that is me, because I am telling that that was my experience in the waking state. That was my experience in the dream state. This was the experience in the deep sleep state. So I am only telling. So I was present. I am the changeless. I was the entity me who was in the waking state. The same entity in the dream state. Same entity in the deep sleep state. So Eka Atma. All the states have not undergone any change. So now I want to ask you, just I will take 1 minute and we'll end here. If something is changing all the time, one time in one way and next time it is appearing in a different way, then what will call that?
Asat.
Asat. Yes,
Asat.
good. That is Asat. Good. Asat means whenever scripture is telling Asat, that means it is a changing phenomena. It is not the same. Like if the waker becomes the dreamer. Waker is completely changing. That is Devachari, changing to become the dreamer. Dreamer is changing to become the deep sleeper. Vishwa is becoming Tejas. Tejas is becoming the Pragya. Pragya is becoming the Vishwa. If they go on, there is no stainless. If one is remaining all the time same, it is called Nitya. If one is changing all the time, that means it is Anitya. But since we are experiencing, then we don't tell word Anitya, we tell it a nice sugar-coated word, we call it illusion, Mithya. But Anitya and Mithya both are same. Just a sweet way of telling. Ya pratyaya tena anusaraniyam. Tena anusaraniyam means this turiya can be followed by following, going after this Brahmakara Vritti. Anusaraniyam, that one has to follow. And there is another meaning also given that we'll see next time. Are you able to understand what we are discussing now?
Yes, Swamiji. Yeah.
Okay, that is good.
I mean, that is an answer for question whether it is zero, because after after
That answer is given before also. That answer is given before.
It's
But
not
here
zero.
you're telling that what to, in order to know that, in order to, one will tell it is how I'll know it. This is the way.
Yeah.
That means this Ekatma Pratyasara, that is the pramana for the Turiya.
Yeah.
That proves the existence of Turiya. It's not a
Swamiji,
zero. Yes. Rekhaji?
why is this, you said this is the best Upanishad? The most important Upanishad, you said.
Mandukya Upanishad.
Yeah.
What you are telling?
Why is it the most important Upanishad? Mandukya?
Why it is most important? See, there are so many stores are there selling Golgappa. Golgappa, you understand, Golgappa. Pani Puri. Okay, there are so many stores are there. Then, but everybody is going to one place, other, if they are making in one day like $10, this person is making $300 in a day. That means that store is, there is something different is there. They are all Golgappa, same atta they are taking and they are making that round ball and same water, they are putting the imli or something. Everybody is doing the same thing. But there is some specialty is there. All the Upanishads are there, but this Upanishad is talking regarding the truth directly. It doesn't mean words. We will not find anything else. It is talking regarding the truth and truth alone. It doesn't allow our mind to be diverted to what is the creator, how the creation happened, what is Sthula Sara, all these things is not telling at all. Only in commentary Bhagavan Shankaracharya is telling. But it doesn't tell. And only there are 7 verses, that's all. So many, few slokas, but it tells directly. So that our mind will not go to think of this and that. Like when we are quoting, when we are teaching Bhagavad Gita, we tell that this Upanishad has told. Now our mind has gone from Bhagavad Gita to that Upanishad. When we are telling that Upanishad, then we tell something from Ramayana. Then mind has gone to Ramayana. Oh, I have not studied Ramayana. Then while telling Ramayana, then it will Mahabharata. Then at the end, I started one place. Then now my mind is in another. But this book tells directly. It is handling how to realize the truth. Only that is the aim. Nothing else. It doesn't want to talk regarding anything else.
Like we call it unvarnished truth, like just truth.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is the truth and pure truth. It is not. It is not adulterated.
Yeah.
Unconditioned. It is unconditioned truth. Okay. We'll see the rest next. Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om